Mr. Diosdado, how are you, brother?
I'm very good. Glad to be here. How are you?
Good, good, man. Thanks for joining us. This is one of our newest things that we're doing post-pandemic, doing an alumni spotlight featuring some of our top alumni. So Daniel was with us. We met back, just giving you a little backstory of how we met in 2013, right?
I think it was 2013. It was the year that I moved to New York. So yeah, it's been 10 years.
Glad that
Wow.
I was able to meet you. We met at a bar when I used to host these mixers, these networking mixers in the city. This place called Bait and Hook in Union Square. And that's how you told me about this film, Insania. I think you had just completed a short film. And
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that was the last anything I did in Spain, not just feature films or short films or anything. It was a short film that we did, kind of like a farewell to Spain. We're going to move to Spain, Vanessa Calderon and I, and we shot Insania in the winter of 2012, and we moved to New York in March 2013. So that was our farewell short film.
Short film. It was a great one. And you had, I remember that night you screened at Katra in the lounge. You had a Miss Sarandon approached you guys and told you how moved she was by the film.
Yeah.
Susan Sarandon, if you folks don't know, she's Thelma and Louise. She's done some big stuff. But cool, man. So thanks for joining me. I'm gonna just dive right in, and then we can go into your career and all the stuff you have going on. I ask every alumni that comes on this show is, how did you get started in show business? Or I like to say the crazy business that we're in.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what is the first like professional work that I did, but I feel like I've been in this business since forever because my family has been in this business. I'm like third generation show business person in my family. So I grew up like in backstage in the theaters and, you know, film sets and all that since I was a little kid. So I've been involved in show business, you know, as far as I can remember. And my first professional job was as an actor when I was 12 or 13 in a series back in Spain. So I'm 50, you do the math, it's been 37, 38 years, something like that. So it's been a while. And then I started as an actor, and then I always been writing since I was a little kid as well. And I'm very visual. So I think it was a simple and very like straightforward evolution from a writer into a director, into a writer-director. And I also became a producer because, you know, nobody better than you to push your own projects forward. So I kind of like wear so many hats because, you know, life put me in that position. But yeah, first job professionally was as an actor when I was like 12, 13, something like that. So yeah,
that's how you got started. Well, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I think that's important. You mentioned that how writing, you've been writing since you were a young age. I was the same way. When I was young, I was writing, I had a journal. I would write these like short stories. My English was bad. I could barely write, but I was able to, just jot down stuff on a notepad. And yeah, it's like, I guess it's a natural process, right? When you're writing, you're thinking about the story, the vision, how everything plays out, the character, the story. So it's like you're a natural born director when you're writing because you're thinking in these visual ways. That's awesome, man. So what was your first official film that you directed? How did that happen?
Officially this is kind of like a weird word to use. I'm going to tell you why. Because we got a bunch of friends together in a house in the mountains in Spain, and we started to improvise. We locked there for like 4 days with 3 cameras and countless microphones everywhere. So we started to improvise. And out of that experience, a movie happened. I didn't know what was going to happen back then. It could have been a short film, it could have been whatever, an experiment. It was an experiment anyway. And it was about a therapy session. So I had 9 people in a circle. Of course, the actors knew each other, but the characters didn't know each other. So nobody knew what the other actor was going to be playing, but I knew them all. So I was like provoking situations. Like, all right, I know this character was, I'm going to make it up, like she was abused when she was a kid. So I will go to another actor and say, all right, just ask her about this. and provoke her to get a reaction from the character. Okay, ready, everybody? Yes, action. So nobody knew what they're going to be saying. Nobody knew what was going to happen. And we filmed it kind of like a documentary on set, like in real time. And then it took me, I don't know how many hours we shot. It was a lot of hours, 3 cameras again. And then it took me maybe 6 to 7 months to put all the pieces together in editing. And then to glue the whole story, we then went back to production, and we shot a few scenes that put the whole piece together. And that became a movie called Session, which is my first feature film officially, because it was an experiment. But then in 2011, we produced a scripted feature film. And that was officially the first scripted feature film, which is La Reina de Tapas, Queen of Tapas, that you mentioned before. And that was like more like a regular, scripted. That
you wrote from beginning to end?
Me and 2 other people. We wrote it, and I directed it and edited it as well.
That's cool. Wow, so your first project, so that before even doing a short film, you did a feature first? Or have you done shorts before, prior to?
I did a few shorts, very amateur, no money, no resources, no knowledge.
Right.
If I go back to them, I'm like, all right, I guess I didn't know any better. So it's like, one of those things when you look back at them, it's funny how little you knew.
But you learn as well, right? You learn how to make a film, how to hold a camera, how to tell sort of a basic story, and
Exactly.
I think that's important that you were able to do. You made some short films, and then you made the jump into features, because features, it's a whole different ballgame.
Oh, it's a different league. What I learned about the short film is precisely that. I never went to film school.
Never went.
Never. So everything I learned was from different sources. One of them was my father. He's a director as well. So every time that I encounter a problem that I needed to solve on set, I would ask him, like, hey, where do you place the camera? If you have four people talking on the table, where do you put the camera? And he told me about what, eye axis, eye lines, all those things. I know the names in Spanish. That's why I don't.
So you were born with film school, right?
I was born in film
That's nice. You had a film school. You didn't need to go to film school yet. Hey, Dad.
Exactly. And then you learn a lot by, being on set, surrounding yourself with people who know a lot too, and you learn from the biggest. So bring on set people that know better or know more than you is always a good choice, because you learn from them. Being a director doesn't mean that you know everything. Not at all. Your job is to put the pieces together. So make sure that those pieces are the best you can bring on set. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. You got to have those. Obviously, you have each department, and everybody has their skill set. And then when you have the actors, right? You cast the actors always have their own ideas on set of how to improve the story. They have some input. So just work. It's such a collaborative medium. I think you always got to be constantly learning, right? On each film production, you learn something new.
Yeah. And if you don't, I think you did something wrong. If you don't learn anything, I think it's a waste of time.
Very true.
It's funny that you said that the actors bring their own, their own art. Of course, they bring their own art on set. And you just reminded me of a saying that says that a movie it's written 3 times. First time is on the script. First time is on set. Second time is on set. The third time is on the editing room.
In post, that's a good point.
Post. Yeah, and I love that because it's true. When I write a script, I had the movie in my head, and then on set is different because a lot of people bring their own talent and make it enhances the film. And then you get all those pieces, and then you spend a few months editing, and then is when everything consolidates in a different movie than the one that you thought, and oftentimes better than the one that you had in your head when you wrote it for the first time.
Definitely. That's a very, very good point. There's different versions of the script. Yeah, every you can talk to any filmmaker, right? All the best filmmakers out there tell you that they have the idea and then they go to set, and then that's great, man. What are some of so we have a lot of emerging filmmakers, film students, people who are changing careers, trying to get into the industry. Can you talk to us about the writing process? Well, I guess you just talked about it, all 3 stages. But what kind of advice you can give to someone who wants to make a feature film for the first time? Because we get a lot of short films. The majority of our filmmakers are short filmmakers. What are some of the advice for folks who want to make a feature film?
Okay, so what I learned in all these years is you need to know the market you're in. And I'm going to elaborate on that. For example, I had a long time ago, one of the scripts that I wrote, it was a science fiction, very expensive spaceship kind of thing, you know, Star Wars big. And there's no way for me to make that. Nobody's going to give me a penny to produce that because I don't have a background of producing anything or directing anything. So you got to, you know, walk up the ladder little steps at a time, one little step at a time, be patient. One of the things that I learned, don't do this just for the money, because it's hard to make money in this business. There's a lot of competition, there's a lot of talent, and you're competing with, you know, Disney, Marvel, and all those huge productions. So you always think that your movie is going to be hard to make because you're kind of like fighting for the same audience. So I would say don't do it for the money. Know where you're at in the ladder, and always try to climb one step at a time. If your previous project, and this is a stupid example, if you have $100 budget, for one project, don't expect to jump into $10 million project on the next project. You have $100, then try to make another one for 200, and then 500, 1,000, 10,000, and so forth. So ambition, it's important, but you need to know that if you climb the ladder slowly, your ambitions might come a reality with time. It's hard to jump to the first step of the ladder in just one click.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I did a podcast recently. I was talking to this entrepreneur. We were talking about like this, you know, the levels of, you know, some people as a young filmmaker or someone who's just starting out, they have this big vision, this big ambition. They want to make a film, spend X amount of money, but the chances of getting that film financed from a studio or anybody, especially if you're doing it for the first time, it's pretty slim. So definitely you got to put in the work. I think it's all about putting in the work and staying patient. Be patient, staying active, keep writing, right? That's important. I mean, you've done several features over the past few years. I mean, would you say writing is one of the most important things in order to climb that ladder?
It is for me. If you're a writer, director, of course, writing is very important. Maybe you're not only a director. Being a director is a big thing itself, but some directors don't write, and some writers don't direct. But I always compare this business or this art form like going to the gym. Like, you cannot go to the gym once a month. You're never going to achieve anything. You're never going to be in shape. You got to go 3-4 times a week. You know, keep it steady, keep going, keep working. And after a year, you will feel yourself fit. You got to have good nutrition and keep exercising and working out and stuff like that. So movie business and art in general is like a muscle. You have to work on it every day. A little bit every day. Don't forget to work on it every day.
Very true. Very important. Yeah. Right. What I hear for some filmmakers, oh, I have a job, you know, I'm working long days. Just try to set aside a couple of hours, even 30 minutes of that time when you have a break, during your lunch break, right? You get home from work, and just write something, write a paragraph, write, you know, a character description as you're developing your characters. And slowly.
Let me tell you a story. Yeah, let me tell you a story. Apropos of what you're saying, the last script that I wrote, which hopefully is the next movie that I'm going to produce, but that's a different story. The story that I wanted to tell you is I had a full-time job last year, and I was writing the script in my commute. Every morning, I was writing on my phone, and when I got back, I was writing on my phone. So I was able to, you know, get at least 2 good hours a day of writing instead of, you know, checking Instagram or getting on social media. It's something I was like, all right, I need to write this script because I really needed to do it. And I was typing like a maniac in the subway. Yeah. And now I pull it off, 90 pages of script written on a phone, which I've never done before. But if I didn't do it that way, I wouldn't have, you know, I wouldn't have been able to write it at all because I was working full time. So even if you work full time, like you said, you can, you know, scrap a few hours here and there, even on your commute, or in the bathroom, I don't know, whatever. But we have this
Find,
amazing technology that you can type on a phone.
find the time. No, that's true. I think that's important you mentioned too, right? Like social media. We live in an age where we're constantly distracted. There's a barrage of distractions everywhere, right? You got your TV set, you got your phone, you got your iPad, you got this, that, and the other. You have to discipline yourself. You got to have a mental discipline to say, okay, this is the time when I'm going to write. This is the time when I'm going to do this. Your family, your friends, sorry, it's my writing time. This is the
Exactly. I mean, social media, I think, is great, but like everything, you cannot. I wouldn't spend 8 hours a day on social media. I spend time a day. I spend a few hours a day because when I have to promote something, like, for example, we're going to be talking about future projects and stuff like that, and I love social media for that. But if I get a muffin in the morning for breakfast, I'm not going to take a picture of it and post it, because for me, that is a waste of time. I don't care about sharing what I'm going to have for breakfast. Let's talk about movies. Let's talk about the real stuff. But that is me, right?
Yeah,
if you're a foodie and your whole business is about muffins, go ahead, do it. But you're following your career. It's not a distraction. It's just a tool that you have to promote yourself. If you're just swiping up and down, left and right because you don't have anything better to do, that's when I see that you might have a problem.
Yeah, definitely. No, I can get it. It can get addictive. It's definitely find a way to just take your focus and put it into writing. You can definitely make a lot. That's cool, man. That's all great advice. I think a lot of emerging filmmakers will get a lot out of that. All right, cool. Let's you want to make the special? I think we can switch gears and make the announcement. You have a new film coming out.
Yes, it's a new film. It's called The NOMAD. I've been working forever in this new feature film, and it's going to be premiere in a week from today, on Wednesday, February 22nd, here in New York City. And I'm very, very excited about this. It's my first American feature film. It's a thriller, which is my first thriller. So I'm thrilled to have a thriller, and that is a mouthful. That's
awesome. Screening next Tuesday at Regal Essex. Wednesday. Wednesday.
Wednesday 22nd.
Wednesday at what time?
It's we're going to open doors in the venue at 6 p.m. I'm going to have, the usual step repeat, red carpet, fancy, beautiful people coming in and watch the film.
That's going to be, you want to give some folks a little description of it, a little teaser?
Yes, it's about a young female reporter who hires a serial killer to kill her own dad. And the serial killer kills priests. So it's a little bit controversial, and I guess I like messed up stories like that.
It's I did get to see it, and I do have to say it's very relevant, timely, and the audiences are gonna really have a lot to discuss about after. I see we have Vanessa here. Vanessa, how are you? Yeah, great work in that film. She did it. I mean, she's one of the stars in the film. She did a tremendous job in that. Really intense performance.
Yeah, Vanessa Calderon is an amazing actress. I've worked with her. I don't know how many projects we've done together. More than 10, something like that. I don't know.
10 years work on 10 projects.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. I mean, from short films to feature films and everything, we've been collaborating.
No, you have a great job. Yeah, because she was in the film Insania, the one that we screened in 2013.
Yep.
And definitely, you guys have a great working relationship. I mean, it's you can see it shines in this performance.
Actually, Insania, we wrote it together.
You guys wrote it together, correct?
That's right. Nice.
It's great to have those collaborative relationships, especially when you work in the same field. That's awesome. Well, we look forward. Thank you, Vanessa. Look forward to seeing you guys and your whole cast. And your whole cast and crew are going to be there?
Yeah, they're going to be there. And actually, I'm reading in the comments that Lauren is here too. Lauren Biazzo, which is the lead.
Oh, Lauren, you did a great job too. Yes, that was amazing performance. All the performances were great. Really highly recommend everybody check it out. We're proud. We're proud to be one of our partnering with the event, with the screening, the debut feature, American debut feature of Daniel Diosdado. Hope to do more alumni, because we have a lot of alumni from around the world. Hopefully, we'll be able to do more screenings here in New York. Hey, Lauren, great work.
Hey,
All right, cool. Is there anything else you want to add? You want to plug? What else is NOMAD Films got in the pipeline?
So the movie, actually, you can watch it now on iTunes, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, DirecTV, and Vudu. It's available since yesterday. You want to rent it,
So it's
purchase
available
it?
to stream as well. Okay.
Yeah. So one thing is the premiere we're going to do for, press, industry folks and stuff like that. But then the movie is already available for the public for rent
Awesome.
and purchase.
That is awesome. Apple TV, you said, right? And DirecTV, the stream.
Apple TV, Google, Microsoft, all those stores, Vudu, DirecTV, and I'm missing one, and Amazon Prime Video as well.
Amazon Prime. Nice, man. That's awesome. You guys definitely check it out. I was riveted watching it and moved by the story. It's about, these are stories that we don't normally see in the mainstream. So I think it's important that these get made and has an audience, so people can have a great conversation about. Cool. Is there anything else you want to add? You ran through everything really quickly as far as being a filmmaker and some of the challenges that we face as artists. What are any advice that you want to give somebody out there who's thinking about giving it a shot?
I remember that I went to a conference a long time ago, and a producer, I cannot remember her movie. She was promoting a movie, and she did an amazing conference in LA for the American film market, and I was there. And she said, I just have a piece of advice for all of you: never give up. And that stuck. So my advice is never give up.
That's great. I think you can't. Yeah, I can't say it any better. We'll leave it at that. Never give up, guys. Keep making films. Keep creating your art, and don't be afraid. Just put it out there. Cool. Daniel, thank you so much for joining us. I will see you Wednesday. We're going to start promoting the film on our webpage in the next few days. Definitely come check it out. Regal Essex, Wednesday, February 22nd. Doors open at 6. We're going to have a screening, the premiere of the NOMAD. And then we have probably a post-screening drink, a little after party afterwards, so we can mingle with some of the folks there, learn about what else people are working on. Cool. Well, thanks, Daniel. I'm sure we'll see you more.
Thank you, Geoffrey.
Can't wait to see more of your work in the future.
Let me add you something. Thank you for all these years of your amazing work at Katra. And I've seen your festival grow over the years. And I think it's amazing what you're doing for young filmmakers. And keep up the good work, my friend.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
All right.
Those words of encouragement always help, because it's, how it is in this industry. It's hard work. All right, dude. I'll see you next Wednesday, man. Have a good one. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.